maybe any that we've seen so far. But with draft underway, folks, I'm going to hand it over to you so you can get that hype started nice and early.
Thank you so much, Rude. I hope we can bring on the hype, Axeman. You know, of course, I casted one game of play-by-play with Rude Dude last summer, ironically, in the LFL English stream. But either way, we've got the draft on our screen so far. Not too many surprises already. We've got some of the OPs, like Ivor and Rel getting banned out. Kaisa first picked, immediately being responded, however, with Xayah Wukong.
Yeah, I think the Rakon comes through here. Second pick blue side. We'll see the Sejuani come up as well for Scary on that third pick as they move through the remainder of the draft. Gwen banned away, not going to be available for Guigo. We said this going in. Both of these teams like playing around the top side, and Guigo loves that Gwen more than anyone else. Poppy locked in, actually. Could be a jungle flex, could be top lane as well. Could be both of their solo lanes locked in here, but that will be Crastiel and Jace, and no Ezreal for Crastiel. Interesting pickup so far for Kabum. They have a plan here, clearly hot, but what are they cooking?
Definitely cooking something, that's for sure. I mean, I feel like the Poppy and the Jace, technically both flexes could go either mid or top. The Poppy, likewise, could go top or jungle. Patal, really the only one we've seen play the Poppy a whole lot here in the CBLOL in the top lane, but the option is at the very least still there. But with Annie coming through for Vivocade, it's about what we've seen from this team and across the entire CBLOL a lot so far this split. Xayah, Wukong, Annie forming that early to mid game skirmish trio with a lot of playmaking potential.
Yeah, nice big team fight ultimates. Nice pick potential as well on safety for the Xayah, built in inherently into the kit. Now that Xayah gets locked in, I almost think that it would be better to put Scary on Sejuani. He's got some Sejuani games. The Ivern has been banned into him by VKS. Sejuani is the second most picked. And I don't think they're going to ban it here. That Azir ban does come through, calling the bluff for Crastiel. I think a little weird note. Crastiel has only ever lost on Azir, so... I mean, he's on Kabum, so he's only ever lost, period, but...
yeah, I feel like that's not as impressive as that when, unfortunately, things have just not really worked out for Kabum so far this split. But, I mean, again, Scary coming in, maybe it can be that spark that they need. He was their jungler last split, and it was a disappointing split for Kabum, but it was not 0-10 start, and I think that is a big difference. And you bring up Crastiel, we touched on it briefly in the pregame, has been, I think, the best performing member of this Kabum roster, playing very well in the mid lane, and just the rest of the team not really been able to get much going around him. So maybe that change at jungle can just reinvigorate this mid-jungle 2v2 and prop up this win condition that we have so identified for Kabum. And hopefully they can prop him up in the draft as well. Some attention being thrown his way again. Like you said, the Azir getting banned, Cassiopeia likewise getting removed. Now, things like the Ahri still up and available if you wanted to go for it, however, Axeman.
Crastiel, interesting. We haven't really brought up we brought up the two flex, the Jason and Poppy. We didn't really bring up the Kaisa flex too much because Crastiel has played Kaisa too, right? So that is another potential flex. I think Kaisa's probably locked to the bot lane with Nautilus. I feel like that's just too good a lane not to lock that in, but they will pick. Oh man, the Rumble coming through here lonely. Not sure about that pick whatsoever, and I'm thinking from the draft, Kabum, maybe take another L here. VKS, they get Xayah Rakan, they get a nice mid laner, and Annie Wukong, the winningest jungler in CBLOL. Now they just need a top laner to round it out, and they got dealer's choice here. Renekton comes through.
Okay, in defense of the Rumble, look, it was really terrible last game. The good Rumble angle. Everyone had a dash. However, this game, I do think the Rumble is better than it was for Furia last time. I think against Xayah in particular and Annie both being immobile backliners, you could throw down the equalizer. Xayah, even if she uses the Feather Storm, it doesn't put her invulnerable for long enough to still have to land on that skill shot on that red carpet and take the damage. So maybe there's a world where Lonely can make it happen. Of course, our top laners love their carries, but I do think across the board, Axeman, we've got a lot of skirmish for both sides. Kabum, they're looking a little bit more team fight oriented, maybe a little bit better scaling, but Renekton, Wukong, Xayah, Rakan on the other side, I mean, you mentioned it. The playmaking ability is very clear and very obvious for the Vivocade stars.
Certainly, you got the abilities, right? And you have the capability of making plays. Now you just need the hands, you need the mind for it. Both these teams looking to prove something today, to me anyway. I not big belief in this draft, really, from either side. I think Crastiel Jace is pretty troll. I don't think Jace is necessarily good on any mid laner, but I mean, Ezreal was up this whole draft, right? I think that would have been a better pickup for him. We're at least seeing damage numbers come out of the Ezreal, as opposed to other artillery picks that he's locked in the past, like AP Kai'Sa, like the Jace before. And, yeah, I don't know. Just don't pull Jace. If this is the game where Jace absolutely pops off and it's Crastiel, I'm going to lose my mind.
We'll see if it's able to happen. Rude, I'm going to bring you back in for just a sec before we get onto the rift.
Get in here,
what are your
Rude.
thoughts on the Jace and the draft as a whole?
Okay, Jace, Rumble, there are two champions that have been volatile in the CBLOL. Kabum have taken them, and I think that if any team are going to make these champions look amazing and work, it has to be Kabum in their redemption arc in the back half of the split.
Oh, look
Game
at the
number
rift.
2 is on the way.
Axe, I'm hearing the excitement in your voice. As you said, we are here on a beautiful old Summoner's Rift. We can see the nice rock formations and the trees as the champions leave their fountains. We're underway with game number 2 of the day.
I spent more time on Summoner's Rift than I think I've spent with like people I genuinely love in real life. So it's kind of a special place to me. All right, I get excited about it.
Haven't we all, man? Haven't we all? I mean,
Yeah, I think you get to a point where the numbers start shifting a little. Grell's in there.
There's a little bit of action going on. Grell just gonna face check a bush. I don't think you wanted to do that, my friend.
No way.
Crastiel getting the first blood on the Jace.
Oh,
Maybe
it's
that's
happening.
what you wanted.
No, it's happening, dude. I'm gonna lose it. Crastiel with the
This is
first
the
blood.
Jace 1v9 game for Crastiel. Like, you're not ready, man. Like, it's gonna happen.
I cannot believe this
You
is
jinxed
happening
it
to me.
too much. Caster curse is real.
I really did. He's that first blood. He's gonna come back in a lane. Yeah, he's got it. Is that tier? Oh man. Nah, it's free. It's free now. Surely Crastiel can't throw this one. I'll curse it back the other way.
Surely.
I'll even it out. Even it out.
Yeah. The caster curse the other way. I like it. We'll see if it balances out. Definitely a nice 400 gold stipend to start off the game is gonna feel pretty good for Crastiel. And both mid laners ultimately losing their flashes. Redbird as well. He does still have the Hex Flash, so has that available in the lane nonetheless. And junglers mirrored clears on the top side, presumably going to influence this lane. Very volatile with the Rakan and Nautilus down there.
So going into this game, Hawk, we said scary, probably, you know, oh, we were getting a little engaged on bot side.
Yeah, just a little trading back and
This is
forth.
heavy.
Redbird taking some damage. Trigo throwing some feathers in, and everybody's gonna just let them know that they want to fight.
That's heavy. Redbird keeps stepping up here, too. They're trying to maintain control, trying to get level 2. We said going into this game, Scary probably Sejuani duty. He got put on Poppy. It's very different. He has
Is it though? Like-
more of a mechanical burden, I think, for the Poppy nice hook.
Yeah, Trigo, take it very low. No passive proc for Raven, however, means that
Wow.
he's not taken down. But the level 2 means that he still does quite a bit of damage. Trigo would
Come
certainly
on,
getting
Lonely.
pushed back in Guigo. Now
Come on,
be careful,
Lonely.
as that is an Ignite
Yeah.
Rumble with the solo
Yeah.
kill in top lane. And both the solo lane champions that Axman has criticized now have a kill.
Yeah, they both got the kills, and this might be my final cast of my life. Crastiel and Lonely are doing it, man. Holy cow. Yeah, I didn't believe, but I owe them both an apology. Now they're going into the 3-minute mark with all the kills in this game and almost 1,000 gold lead for themselves. Back on the rift with some items, and Kabum with a lead for the first time in CBLOL Split 2.
Look, Axe, I know in the green room we were saying, like, this is going to be one of those games. Vivo Cade, they're so aggro early game. Like, they might just get another 10,000 gold lead at 20, just like we saw last game. Well, Kabum up 2-0 off of some, I don't know if you call them mistakes from Vivo Cade or what, but clearly the Ignite Rumble catching out Guigo. And now Scary on the bottom side as well. Damage and Trigo wave pushing away from them. Maybe the potential for a gank. Hook, however, goes in. It could just be a bait, but junglers are in the area. Redbird, you are taken very low, my friend. Trigo, flash forward, doesn't have the damage because of the shield. And that is flash burned off of the enemy ADC for not really too much other than a bit of a health advantage.
That looks like 2022 Redbird to me. He's making plays, taking big risks, and the meta has evolved to support him a little bit more with his champ pool. Now in this Kai's Nautilus lane, he looks like $1 million US, looking fantastic on Summoner's Rift. Scary there to support effectively as well, and Kabum look better than they have all year long. Really well done so far. I need to see them keep it up, man. It can't just be Hopium.
I'm with you. We want to see it. We want to see this team do well. It's no fun when a team goes winless. And of course, the CBLOL record is 0-14. They're not quite there yet, but hopefully they want to stop that train.
What is Redbird cooking, man? What is he cooking?
Oh, yeah.
Hex flash over the wall!
Here. Grell finds a Nautilus. You don't have your clone. You do have Flash, though, able to get out. Scary could follow up, though, with the shoulder charge. No defensive cooldowns. Up and available.
We got him!
That's gonna be the third kill of the game.
That's incredible. Kabum now at 3 kills to 0 for VKS.
Oh,
and are they going to dive Guigo? They got the wave.
Flash, and his Fury's going to fall off. Axeman is not looking good. Damage is here, and he does still have a tower. Very
the hook!
They go in, make the play. TP comes through. The one-shot is head, and everybody gets away. 4-0 Kabum.
Incredible effort for Kabum. There's no way they fail now. Certainly right up 1.5k gold. They have it all stacked on the solo laners. Kabum, can they win the game? I don't know. We haven't seen them in this position yet, this split. But they look
We've not seen them get so far ahead. What do we do?
Yeah, what do we do? Redbird's going to head back bot, support the Kaizen. They want to play around bot side for these dragons now.
Yeah, I mean, and with Lonely being so strong, 3-0-0 on this Rumble. This is what we wanted to see out of Batal's Rumble last game, and it is definitely coming true. One of the champions, top lane Rumble, finally coming back into the meta at long last. One of my favorites to watch in competitive. Most certainly off to the races, and Vivo Cade is just completely scattered. And Axe, we have said this is a team that lives and dies by their early games, and it has not gone according to plan for them.
No, it hasn't whatsoever. We've seen how bot side Scary's chilling now. He's going to reveal himself, going to walk through the wave here a little bit, but they still contend for the bottom lane and for the bot side pressure. It's really on VKS now to make a move, right? And you have to counter Kabum somewhere. You have to fight them somewhere. And I got to say, they have shrunk that lead a little bit, a few hundred gold back. And now it's looking...
Oh, but Guigo can't step up to the wave, man. It's so unplayable.
Yeah, you can't get up to the wave. Gravthar's having trouble getting at the wave as well. And they maintain control briefly. It's all about the dragon for me now. Who gets this first dragon? Because that'll really decide who's in control of the map. Scary's positioning very effectively. Meanwhile, we're not seeing that same thing from Grell. We're not seeing that same level of focus. He's focused on the clears and trying to stay efficient that way.
Yeah, I mean, Grell is a player that we have criticized for overstepping at times. He's been an X factor for Kabum, but VKS rather, but he also has sometimes been a bit of a weakness with his ability to overextend, and we've seen that just that little bit this game. But Axeman, we've also got the Herald spawning in 50 seconds. I know you got your eyes on the dragon. It looks like Kabum does as well, but with Herald coming up, that Rumble really gonna want to fight around that objective, you would have to think. And so Kabum maybe even going to try to get both neutrals now on a dragon before that Rift Herald comes online, and you wanted to see it. They're continuing to press their advantage.
Yeah, if you're one of these big ult-focused junglers like Wukong, like the Poppy, you need 6 to fight for that Rift Herald. They're going to control bot side here, get the dragon, and just like you said, Hawk, Scary's going to use this control they've gotten bot side and that lead that Lonely has to rotate up and take the Rift Herald as well.
And with the game slowing down, I feel like Vivo Cade, they've had a bit of a moment of like, oh shoot, like we might have ended a little bit this early game. Like we need to slow it down and look to play for these skirmishes that we picked this composition for. We need to group up as numbers. And Lonely has flash back up and available, has spotted Grell.
Shutdown here.
And the big shutdown though, not going to be picked up from some great defensive play, at least so far, for Kabum's top laner. But the Herald has been started up, Axe.
Yeah, you got the ult in the hand now. VKS make their big push, but Redbird is here. Scary is here. Grasstail can rotate. They're going to play it slow, Hawk.
Yeah.
Not wanting to give away the lead. A very mature maneuver for Kabum. I know a lot of Kabooms will coin flip this Rift Herald, but this is a different Kabum than the Kabooms we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, opting not to fight as Raven was on the bottom side, just going to try to take a plate or two. TP being expended by Guigo to try to answer. And I'm going to be honest, Axe, I think it is very nice and reserved. I'm glad they didn't fight without their AD carry there, but I have to wonder, do you think it's a mistake that they didn't rotate Raven up sooner and preempt this play and fight around their 3-0 Rumble? You would think that would be their opportunity to really break open this game, and it feels like they didn't really take advantage.
I like that this seems like a maneuver that trusts their AD carry, that trusts Lonely to maintain his lead and not get dove topside. It feels like everyone's saying, hey, it's okay. We can continue playing. No one's going to give up big leads. No one's going to get caught out. We're going to be fine. We're just going to continue playing straight. And while I know a lot of analysts that would say, hey, maybe we don't bet the house on Raven, maybe we don't bet the house on Lonely, it feels good, a Kabum fan myself, to see them play this way.
They are still, at least, as you say, continuing to play defensive. The worst thing, to your point, that you can do with the lead is throw it all away. And Kabum most certainly not doing that. They are still answering with plays as well. Their gold lead staying at about that 1.5, 1.2 thousand lead. Their solo laners very, very big in this game. So the game state, by and large, definitely still in a good spot. And I think we're really just waiting for that dragon to spawn 2.5 minutes before any sort of big fight does break out. We'll have to see where VivoK does bring that Herald, but Guigo not going to get a kill on the top side.
Nah, he's not going to get anything for the time being, but Lonely, he does have a 3-kill lead, but we haven't really talked about the CS lead for Crastiel right now. Big CS lead for him. It was 30 just a second ago, now down to like 15 or 20, something like that. But yeah, really nice lane so from Crastiel as well.
It definitely has been being up that CS Lonely, being up as well as you've highlighted again, maintaining the lead, pushing Guigo back, knowing no ultimate on the Renekton means not really any threat to be had. And Kabum back to standard lane assignments. They've got their bottom lane and bottom solo lanes where there ought to be. VivoK, and they're gonna handshake the slow game as well, just freezing bot wave, not looking for anything too crazy. And
No,
I mean, let's talk about what this game means for these teams, right? Because we talked about it a bit in the pregame. VivoK currently very, very middle of the table. Every single win going to matter so much for them moving forward. On the other side of the coin, Kabum, they're just looking for anything. Still not even mathematically eliminated, by the way, because we still have so many games left in the split. They just want to find any sort of win that they can.
Well, the nice thing for Kabum is that there's always been Liberty, which is just one win ahead of them. So what does this mean for Kabum? It means catching up with Liberty, getting that W getting the check mark in the W column, and actually making some headway. I don't know what it would actually take mathematically for them to get into playoffs. They might have to win out or something close to that. But
they probably have to do something like win out. Yeah, I mean, 7, 8 wins feel like the cutoff. Yeah.
They're
but hey, I mean,
now,
like never say die, man. They're not out yet.
Yeah, the way they're playing in this game, if they play every game like that, hey, maybe they got it. Maybe they got it. But they haven't won just yet, folks. And I'm just 1,000 gold lead so far. I almost said 1,000K. It's not that. It's not a million. But it is 1,000. Rico will get dropped to mid. Another fight topside.
Trading in top. Lonely getting taken very low. Equalizer is dropped, but it's not very good. Vigo still burning down anyway, though, and he just dies. Lonely with his first kill of the game.
We're so back, Kabum fans. We're doing it. Let's go. Dragon's up, or something. 15 seconds on Dragon. There we go. And Kabum are setting up for that one as well. Lonely, no teleport available, so he has to walk down if he wants to join the fight, but he wants the plates instead. Will be the fight over the Dragon. Damage wants in.
Do they even fight for this? Lonely doesn't have the teleport, but is recalling. If they can slow play this, maybe could join the fight. VivoK could be feeling the pressure, though. Remember, it was them that had that more mid-game skirmish-oriented composition, as we highlighted in the draft axe, man. So they might be feeling the nerves just that little bit. The kill for Lonely does come at a critical time, as we had mentioned that the game was slowing down. The gold lead was shrinking for Kabum just that little bit. And Lonely immediately able to find another advantage for the team. And now we're going to finally see that Rumble team fight. No equalizer up and available, but VivoK onto the Dragon. 5v5 in the river. And Redbird looking for the engage. Shock blast going out. Guigo walking forward.
Watch Scary with the ultimate.
Scary gonna throw that away. He got two. He got two. Now damage trapped into the pit completely on his own. But Kabum, they weren't able to find the engage. They didn't see the recon. And now they're a bit split. Going on to Grell and Grepthar on the top side of the fight. Guigo gonna try to run interference. It is very, very messy. Redbird is focused down. And Kabum, they've not been able to find anybody. The engage was scuffed, and Raven is on the wrong side of the rift. Grell gonna keep diving forward, but takes a lot of damage in his face. No follow means he dies. Grepthar trades it back 2 for 1. Kabum, fumble around the dragon.
Redbird to back up. It's just a little stumbling block here. Nothing to worry about. Kabum fans. Bird's going to get back to the dragon pit. We'll see if we continue fighting. Lonely finds damage.
Yeah, still very, very strong. Burning down the health bars. Vivo not really having the resources to extend this fight, but Kabum, they don't either. Forced to recall. The Dragons on the map. Second Rift Herald now spawning. Axeman, maybe we'll just see a handshake at the end of it for both objectives. But take another look at this very messy fight.
Here's this replay. Scary played it so well with the ultimate, but there's just no play to be had. All the damage is far away from both the Dragon and enemy champions. Nothing to hit for BKS, who get back into form, now surrounding Kabum. They drop the damage on the necessary targets, force Raven back into the back of the jungle. Grell's going to step too far forward, but they will trade back Redbird and Raven.
Grell, unfortunately, does go a little too far forward himself, meaning that a kill is traded over and they're not able to do the dragon, but still, it is a really good fight for Vivo K. Definitely still staying in this game, but Lonely now having the equalizer back up, and that's an interrupt onto damage. Another interrupt onto damage, but Trigo is trying to do the DPS. Guigo TP's in, as running forward. Lonely has arrived into the fight, and once again, it's very split. Keeper's Verdict goes wide, but the red carpet is put down. Damage taken so low. Many ultimates have been burned. Guigo trying to chase after the Jace. Nobody has died in this fight. It's a banger across the Rift, Axeman, as these two teams are team fighting like my gold clash teams. Grell gonna finally get the dragon though.
Finally gets that one down, gets a dragon back in the favor of VKS. Now it's one apiece, but the mid lane turret goes down. And Kabum maintain a narrow lead here, even extending their lead by a few thousand gold. Excellent play. Unfortunately, all the gold is stacked on Lonely. It is all about this Night Harvester Rumble. They take down the Rift Herald on the backside as well. Really nice play from Kabum. They lose the objective. They take 2 back.
Yes, they do. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's just a really extended handshake. Vivo K, they're working on this bottom lane tower. The soul stacking has been stopped for either side, at least for the time being. But I mean, just how messy have these fights been? Neither team really looks like they know exactly where they want to commit. Neither one willing to super aggressively pull the trigger, and it means we're getting such scrappy interactions back and forth.
We certainly are. Grevthar is looking for a pick running through the jungle. Could get picked himself here if he's not careful. Redbird making plays just like old Redbird. I know I already said it, but it's so good seeing a player you believe in like get back into form and go back to their old ways. Really cool stuff from this guy so far. And the picks have been on point, the playmaking super on point as well. He's going to die a lot because it's the Nautilus, so expect that. But, I mean, you know, 1 death in 17 minutes, I'm good with that.
Wow. Lonely, though, forced to flash. A really great flash. Fantastic reaction time to Grell showing up means that he doesn't get taken down, but that is still 5-minute cooldown, getting blown off of the enemy top laner for Vivo K. Can I just hang that thought because it's another fight in the side lane. Graciel face checks an Annie and goes down. There's the Jace death. Finally, at long last, Axe may be just a little bit vindicated.
Yeah, just a little bit here. I really like that they're playing so aggressive. They have so much belief in themselves. I mean, they're building huge damage items. You got the Ghost Blade, Night Harvester on these solo laners. Perfect. That's what you should be doing, man. But if you're going to build this way, you can't walk in the bushes. Just no bushes. 0 bush rule right now for Kabum has to be in effect because you will get picked. And he is in every single bush.
Yeah. No bushes may be a good rule to be following. And Axe, I was going to say earlier, this is just why I love the CBLOL. It may not be the cleanest game that we've had so far, but damn has it been entertaining. These teams playing with so much heart, so much spirit, nothing held back, and continuously looking to find those fights, looking to find those advantages. And I mean, it is just a treat to be able to watch this every single weekend, these teams. So much passion, so much fire radiating from within them, and it really shows on the Rift.
It absolutely does. Big CS numbers coming through from Trio showing his passion for last hitting minions. And you can tell that passion's coming through because he's last hitting a lot of minions. Guigo's going to run away from the bottom lane here. And he'll be out. Looking for big plays from these junglers to start out these fights over objectives. You want to get those big team fight ultimates in order and line up the victory for your team. Coming up next, folks, is Red versus Loud. Got Titan and Tinones lined up there for you.
Yeah, that's match of the week coming up tomorrow, actually. Third
tomorrow?
game of the day tomorrow. You're definitely going to not want to miss that, as it's the best team in the CBLOL against a 7-game win streaking Loud, who has really turned their split around after a rocky start. But we can't get there yet, because actually we got to get through this absolute slobber knocker that we've got so far. Only 20 minutes in, Baron hasn't even spawned yet, and it still feels like a banger. It's a TP to the bottom lane, as Vivo Cade, they do want to try to chase down Kabum on this bot side commitment. Grell has the Cyclone, has the flash if he wants to get in there, but Poppycopter charged up, goes wide. Grell can still go forward, but you've got the steadfast presence. Scary. When do you use it? Uses it now.
Nice.
Stops the quickness. Very good interrupt. Redbird able to dredge line out. Might just be the sacrificial diver. But it's just one kill, as you say, Axeman. Very brilliant disengage to mean that only the support goes down. And look at the top side. Lonely's pushing and should be able to get a tower for the trouble.
That's more than worth it. We take a Nautilus death and get a turret back in return. Kabum are playing like 40 chess right now, man. This is incredible watching him play a macro game like this. I mean, every single member of EKS is chasing down Scary and Redbird. Scary's gonna be able to defend, and they just lose Redbird for a turret. That's really well played so far. I mean, the gold lead speaks for itself as well. Up 2K for Kabum, and yeah, not the results so far that we would have expected, but finally some good news for Crastiel and the gang.
Definitely some good news. And Axeman, we've got a dragon spawning on him. Our last dragon sequence was absolutely insane. I expect nothing less. Vivo Cade, though, they're committing on the top side right now. Top lane tier 1 seems to be the focus. Just giving over this Infernal Dragon. We did mention that soul stacking not really a threat at this point in the game. So instead, opting to just line their pockets with a bit of gold and a bit more map control.
Yeah, I like the dragon focus from Kabum. I think VKS do have an option here to play for this Baron and at least threaten it, but Kabum very wisely don't seem too concerned with it. Until you get to that 22-30 mark, I don't think you're worried too much about a Baron take here in Pro. I think that's a little bit too quick, and they will call that bluff, and they will be 100% correct. You're not going to take that one down with an Annie Zaya.
No, not exactly the fastest Baron comp for Vivo Cade. And as we have crested this 20-minute mark, I would imagine the game will slow down just a bit more, maybe until the next dragon spawns. And that does let us talk about some of the heroes in this game. Still the solo lanes for Kabum being the strongest. Lonely 5-0-0, 2 items on this Rumble. 2 items for everybody on Kabum. That matters. Each of the carries very strong. But on the other side, you've got Grevthar 3-0-0 on this Annie, having a good game for himself, not getting pressured out too much by Crastiel's Jace, and you'd have to think a lot of this is going to be on that Tibbers, or maybe just the engage, as it is damage getting caught out immediately. Equalizer doing such damage as the Wukong has been ejected. Correction, it's the Renekton, as now Tree goes down. Bottom lane missing for Vivo Cade as Kabum pulls the trigger.
Incredible play there. Redbird makes the play again. We are so back, baby. Lonely drops the ultimate on him, and they burn. VKS have to push back in if they want to hope at this Baron.
Now VK 3v5. They want to try to contest for this. They see their game slipping away. Their hopes and dreams are going down, but they got Lonely. He is down, but Vigo, do you have the damage? Raid Boss Renekton in the middle of everybody. Grell going to be able to survive as well. Health bar so low on both sides, and now the Monkey King will fall after the sequence, but it should be enough time for Cade to not lose the Baron. Kabum, they get the kills, but they don't get the objective.
Really good stuff from here. Here's that hook one more time. You hook out, big ultimate, and look at the burn. The knockup comes through. So much damage dropped on the front line. Trigo gonna get ulted out. Trigo caught by Lonely. Excellent play from Kabum. Never been this happy to lose a prediction in my life.
It's just absolutely brilliant. But Vivo Cade correctly identifying in the re-engage that Lonely is the guy that you have to kill, and they commit everything onto him. So even though they end up giving over 2 for 2 in this exchange, you got to remember this was 3v5. So stopping the Baron, trading even when you are in that situation, still very worthwhile for the squad, and very much keeping themselves in this game. Axeman, 24 minutes in, only 2,000 gold separating these two teams. one dragon as well. That is not a very substantial lead whatsoever, keeping the K-Stars very much within striking distance.
It's still close. It's still close, but what I like from this fight is that Kabum have diversified where the gold is on their team. Raven gets a kill, Crassiel gets a kill, and all of a sudden that gold spreads out a little bit more. That makes it much harder for VKS to just pick lonely win game, right? Now, all of a sudden, you have to fight the whole team together to really win that game. And if Crassiel gets more flanks like he did in that fight, it'll be good for him.
Well, picking Lonely might still be a good start to win in the game, though, Axeman, as he is going to drop red carpet thrown down, burning down Grell, but he should not die. Guigo will be traded as the rest of the Kabum is here, and now everybody showed up. Brevthar misses the flash Tibbers, as does Scary with the Keeper's Verdict. No flash means he is trapped in the pit, but Crassiel does so much damage with the shock flash. Redbird is in, but I don't think you want to be there. Kabum, they saw the damage of the shock blast, and they thought they could win it, but they forgot that the carries were in no position to follow up.
Yeah, nothing you can really do about fight. It is a nice teleport from Crassiel to clean up the play around Loli, but still, overall, a loss for Kabum there. Bring that gold up to nearly even at 25 minutes in the game. Look at the damage of Crassiel!
Crassiel, Jace, man, hey, you were a doubter. I'm gonna hold you to this. You were a doubter.
You're
showing up on this pick. But the K-Stars are showing up to the Baron. Crassiel, you've got to be here. Raven is boom, by the way, in a 2v5. Vivo K-Stars, they've gotten the Baron. They're going to find the mid laner. And Axeman, the wheels might just be falling off the Kabum hype train.
Big power play for VKS. Now they are up gold. They got gold on Grevthar, and he is off to the races on this. And Reese picks up a bunch of items, hits almost 3, and that is a big Annie. You don't want to get caught out here in a game where VKS just had to kill Lonely. Suddenly, that single target burst damage is through the roof, Hawk. It gets so easy for them at this game. If you're Kabum, you got to play careful.
Definitely have to play careful. Not really having the BP as a front line. Sure, you've got a Poppy, you've got a Nautilus, but neither one of them going to be as big as you might hope, especially, as you said, against all of this damage that the K-Stars have. They're going to take the Dragon as well, making it 2 apiece. Mid lane tier 1 going down. Power play already at 2,000 gold, and there's a lot of tier 2 towers up and available for them to take, should they be able to, but it's a fight in the jungle. You do not want to fight a Rumble there, but he's not here, which means that Scary just gets popped by that single target damage.
Scary's looked so good all game long. To see him finally drop it here in the mid-late game is so disappointing. He played such a good game. Hopefully he can bring it back for the remainder of this game as well. Not get picked like that again. I just don't think you can pick damage anymore. I think he's just a little bit too tanky, that Radiant Virtue. And yeah, I think you just gotta ignore him if you're the front line for Kabum. Gotta look for better targets.
And Kabum as well, fighting without Lonely, really starting to show its head. I know that the gold is distributed across multiple members, Axeman, but it just feels like he is the one that is still doing the most, and the flash being forced by damage as well. That is the quickness and the Cyclone being burned. So critical cooldowns no longer up and available, but Baron and Power recalls mean that the K-Stars will be able to back off. No harm, no foul, and Kabum not able to find anything. What was once a 2,000 gold lead in their favor is a 3,000 gold lead the other way, and it's fallen off a cliff here, as it is a monstrous Baron power play for the K-Stars.
Gold's still good for Lonely. Still got a good collection of items here. Maybe a good equalizer could change the course of this game back for Kabum, but it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot of really solid positioning, and from what we've seen Kabum so far this split, I don't know if they have it in them, Hawk, but they played early games so well. I was a disbeliever going in, and Crassiel showed me something. I'm going to believe now.
And Axeman, this just goes to show both of our bottom teams, Kabum and Liberty, it's not that they haven't had their chances to win games. Liberty in particular, a team that feels like they're cursed sometimes, and Kabum now, after such a good start, how bad would it feel to lose game? But it's a good equalizer, as you say. Damage is eviscerated and Trio is low. That's at least going to stop the siege, as it's a quick 1-0 in favor of Kabum.
Huge pick on damage too. Very hard to pick that champion, and a good engage tool for VKS. It gets hard.
Another re-engage. Red Book finds a hook. But VivoCade, they stand tall. The poke coming through from Raven, but he's low on mana once again, chugging through that bar. And VivoCade is running for the hills. Trigo maybe wants to turn it, gets hooked. Redbird goes down. Wigo with the re-engage. He is huge in the middle of his fight, and Grabbar and Grell wiped him off the map. Kabum went too far in the 4v5, and they get punished.
VKS is just too easy for them. Quigo slides forward with the Renekton. Grell with the Wukong. Incredible play from VKS. They will catch everybody from Kabum. Lonely, Raven, the only survivors. They're going to get this topside turret as well and maintain control over Summoner's Rift.
Now VivoCade, as you say, that maintain control. The gold lead only continues to grow. Kabum, they've not found a good fight in a long time, even after the pick, Axeman.
Yeah, and the pick was solid here. See them press forward as 5. Watch as a lot of the damage goes into this minion wave. Shock Blast going to connect with that melee minion. That's pretty clutch for VKS, but yeah, the unlucky only continues here for Kabum as VKS close in.
Oh no!
Lonely as well.
Lonely going to get caught out. The carry for Kabum is down once again. Baron and Dragon not on the map, meaning that Kabum should still be able to find a team fight. Might not result in that much, but still, it's just another kill. More gold, more pressure, going the way of the Cade Stars. And remember how important this game is. Cade Stars, you think of this as a must-win with how tight the playoff race is looking like it's going to be. You need to be able to take care of the teams below you. But it looked like Kabum would finally find their first win, and now the result might just yet be what we expected, Axe.
It's a beautiful thing seeing a team really show the ability, the drive that got them into this league after such a drought of losses. And to see them just kind of slip through their fingers like so much sand is so sad, so singularly painful to watch. Somebody check on Kabum after this game, man. This is tough. This is real tough.
Definitely is. But again, it's still not over. 5,000 gold the advantage at 30 minutes. Definitely substantial, but not insurmountable. It's just going to come down to this Baron fight. Take stock of what's available. Many critical flashes not there for VivoCade. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's only Lonelies, and that's going to be coming up in 30 seconds. Scary does still have the ability to play disengage. Has had a great game on this Poppy, I think it's fair to say. Kabum as a whole, though, just struggling to get over that hump. Both teams just dancing with both neutral objectives on the map.
Redbird's gonna walk up here, ult connects to Trigo. It's a good in, equalizer's
There's
down.
the equalizer. Trigo forced to ulti away, and he's very low. It's essentially a 45, making a 4v3 as damage gets punted out. But his first kill going the way of VivoCade. Nonetheless, 4v5 as the rest of the K-Bars regroup. Tibbers is down, health bars low on both sides. Raven is again. This Kaisa so consistently running out of mana, not able to poke around these neutral objectives. Raven mismanaging the resource bar, meaning that an objective is going the way of VivoCade.
Yeah, somebody get this guy a tier, right? He's got the shiv, Rage Blade, looking like an on-hit Kaisa. We need to be a mana Kaisa, I guess. Crassiel not finding the flanks either in these fights. The shock blasts are going wide. Poppy ult connects with damage. Nothing is going well for Kabum, where it was all early game long. The curse continues. I guess it's just a little bit of cruelty there in the early game.
And Axe, it looked good. They got the chunk onto Trigo, forced out of the fight, as well as the Keeper's Verdict on the Grell. They had the 5v3, but just didn't have the damage to get through that front line as quickly as they needed to. Guigo doing such a brilliant job of buying time for his team. One of the best team fighting top laners that we have here in the CBLOL. I think it's fair to say, and it does mean that VivoCade is able to get that dragon. Now, singularly Baron being the objective on the map. You would have to think that this is where the line will be drawn for either team. Whoever gets this, if the Cade Stars can, you would think they'd be able to push and end with it. One more good fight, all it's going to take, but Kabum, they've got something to say about it. They've got positioning in mid as Cade Stars postured around the Baron.
Raven's got mana. Redbird has ult. See what they can cook up here.
Getting thrown in
kitchen.
by both sides. They're in the kitchen. They're cooking on the Baron. Keeper's verdict going wide. Baron is gone. It's getting burned down too fast. Scary doesn't have the flash to get into the pit. Equalizer going to go down on the multiple members, try to get damage. But the K-Stars, it's too much. Redbird's going to drop first. So does Crass DL. TP into the base from Guigo. It's also a flank, by the way, to cut off the retreat. Guigo on the Raven should certainly take down the Kaisa. Flash away. He does stay alive, but lonely. Not going to be so lucky. The health bar so low. Guigo into the back line. Onto everybody. Kabum on their last legs in their face. 2 more kills finally dropping. And Raven going to watch as Kabum's best chance to win a game so far this split has slipped away. Vivo K-Stars should improve to 6-5.
That's incredible. They improve over Furry as well, the other 5v5 team who just lost to Pain, so they're up now in the standings. We'll watch them take the Nexus.
Coming into the base, Vivo K, they get another kill. Redbird 8-7 on the Nautilus. The playmaking was good early, but the team fighting was better from Vivo K.